Why does Stoicism emphasize virtue as the only good? The emphasis in Stoicism on virtue as the only good is primarily based on their philosophical conceptions and understanding of life. This video analyzes how we hold fast to moral beliefs in the face of difficult choices and challenges, and how we find inner contentment and tranquility in life by preserving our virtues. There are several main reasons as to why we emphasize virtue as the only good. 1. Virtue is within our control. Stoicism argues that we should focus on what we can control, and virtue, our character and behaviors, is one of those things we can fully control. We may not be able to control the external environment or the behavior of others, but we can always control our own actions and attitudes. 2. Virtue contributes to inner peace. Stoicism advocates that we can achieve inner peace and contentment through the pursuit of virtue. No matter how the external environment changes, if we can maintain virtue, we can keep our minds calm. 3. Virtue is the goal of life. Stoicism values moral cultivation, viewing the pursuit of moral virtue as an ideal lifestyle. Comparatively speaking, virtue is a more serious and more valuable goal than material indulgence or reputation and status. 4. Virtue is universal. Stoicism argues that virtue is something that everyone can pursue and achieve, with no external factors able to prevent us from pursuing virtue. Regardless of wealth or poverty, health or sickness, anyone can live a moral life. At the core of Stoicism's emphasis that virtue is the only good is the belief that we can fully control our own moral actions and virtues. This implies that each of us possesses the ability to be good. We may not be able to control uncontrollable events like weather, but there are still many things that we can control. For example, in our lives, we can choose to greet people politely, help those in need, and show kindness and understanding to others. These are all our moral choices, and they are within our control. Stoicism presents us with the challenge of self-reflection. We need to constantly scrutinize our actions and the moral consciousness behind them. For instance, when we are faced with difficult choices, do we choose the most challenging path that is also morally right? Do we still hold fast to our moral beliefs when we face the possibility of losing friends or jobs? For example, suppose you discover some unethical actions your company has taken, such as defrauding consumers. Most people might opt to stay silent, fearing job loss. However, from a Stoic standpoint, such inaction is a moral compromise. Although on the surface you have kept your job, you have forsaken your virtues and conscience. The true good would be to expose the truth, even at the potential risk of unemployment. Stoicism reminds us that treating virtue as the only good does not mean disregarding other joys and pleasures in life. It does not mean we have to suffer hardships and pain in life. On the contrary, it encourages us to find deep contentment and tranquility by maintaining our virtues when facing life's challenges and contribute and shape the world through an upbeat attitude and actions. Stoicism, with the premise that virtue is the only good, calls for our commitment to principles and moral values, regardless of the circumstances. While it may seem counterintuitive or challenging in the short run, a consistently virtuous life, as per Stoicism, leads to long-term tranquility, contentment, and resilience, regardless of our external circumstances. Instincts and societal pressures might tempt us toward compulsive or unethical behavior. However, the Stoic understanding empowers us to rise above fleeting impulses and pursue a virtuous path. For example, corporations often apply immense pressure on their employees to attain the utmost profits, occasionally at the customer's expense. It might be easier to follow orders without objections, but Stoicism inspires us to adhere to moral principles. Though it could introduce the risk of unemployment, being truthful and fair represents the good in this situation. It's worth noting that while Stoicism places immense importance on virtue being the only kind of good, it doesn't imply that we must renounce all worldly pleasures or endure unwarranted hardship. Instead, it encourages us to find a profound sense of peace and contentment within ourselves by maintaining virtuous actions and perspectives, despite the myriad of challenges life throws our way. This philosophy compels us to adopt a constructive mindset and take positive, impactful actions to influence our environment, regardless of the circumstances. Overall, by embodying virtue as the sole good, Stoicism offers invaluable guidance on leading a fulfilling life filled with dignity, tranquility, and moral satisfaction. If you found it helpful, please like and share it for the benefit of more people.